Hello, hello. How you do? How y'all doing? All right, we good. Huh? I got a couple. I'm feeling great until after the season, until my body starts to hurt. So, uh, so of course, during year, of course, you know how I wasn't playing like my greatest potential in football, and last year I took that under. I took that under, and it was just like so crazy how 1 year of like actual training that I needed, like it showed like last year, especially like the national championship game, Clemson, everybody I went against as well, and it showed a lot like how much like core strength I actually needed before. So my first year playing, since it was like my sophomore year, I tweaked my back. I thought it was like my upper back, but the day after, like my lower back was like messing with me a lot. So I couldn't really run. I couldn't really bend. I was like, this is not right. So I was trying to push through it for Michigan State, and in Michigan State game, I wasn't having my greatest game at all because I couldn't really do anything. So I've been playing for it for 5 games until like 2 weeks before we went to the Rose Bowl that year. I was like, yeah, I can't really like play because of how my back was. Then following year, had to make sure I was getting stronger, my core stronger, and last year I was like at my peak, and this year I feel like I'm past my peak right now. But there's still room for you know critique and stuff.
Thayer, you're an Ohio guy, Cincinnati. How special is it for you to be here representing your university, your state? I mean, tell me about that and how why that's special.
Coming from Lincoln Heights, Ohio, which is in Cincinnati, of course, nobody really makes it out. So everybody knows in Lincoln Heights, Ohio, you don't really make it out until you know you become like a star football player at high school or just like business somewhere, and that's where everybody like thinks like it's so easy. I'm like, no, it's harder than you think because everybody can just easily just like bring you right back in where you started from. And with me, I had people in my life that actually like pushed me through. It's like, yeah, you can't go back. And I also had that for myself and my own family later on down the road. Like, yeah, I can't go back to the same ways that I once was. So I was actually pretty fortunate to actually have people in my life to actually push me through that.
As a leader on the team, how special is it? I mean, what do you tell the young guys that may be here in the future? Go back and tell them about this experience and about you being a leader on the team.
Just with me, it's just like just take one step at a time. Don't go so far ahead being like, oh, I need to be this, oh, I need to be that. Don't don't do that. Like, don't be like somebody that you're not. So I just keep telling them that, keep telling them that. They get off track sometimes, but also at the same time they know where I'm coming from. Like, yeah, you really can't go past your first goal. As soon as you get past your first goal, go to your next goal, then next goal, then just keep adding goals to make yourself better.
Thank you.
Mm. Yeah, to be honest, it's still a rivalry. I'm not really like, I'm not trying to put like words out there and stuff, but I'm just basically just saying like we all treat them the same. Like me, Zach, and Jeremy, and our whole team's treating them the same, like we always have. Like for the past like what 8 years now that we won. Like yeah, like we still treat it the same. Like it's not something like special. For Ohioans like myself, like yes, it's special, but also at the same time, it's still rivalry, like the greatest like rival of all sports. So we still take it the same.
Big smile. Big smile.
Coach Tom Allen today said he said that Ohio State
You know, we was all like as freshmen, always we always got taught like you always gonna have a bullseye on your chest no matter what. So we got practice like it's our last like practice. So basically, like with me and Zach, like we go against each other almost every day. You know, Jeremy go against our linebackers slash DBs every day. Chris and Garrett go against our DBs every day. Like we know for sure we got a bullseye on our back, and we know like we the front runners for the Big Ten. But we also got to act like it as well. You know, be the men that we are, and just be very humbled about ourselves as well.
What were you thinking when you saw the NFL draft?
You know, that was like kind of like a hard decision for me to actually like come back, but also at the same time, I had to think back from high school. So I promised my mom that I was gonna get my degree before I leave, and I didn't get my degree yet. So I told her a long conversation with myself, my girlfriend, of course. We all like I decided that it would be best for me to actually come back, get my degree before I go into the NFL, because you know everybody knows here like the degree can make you go a long way. You know what I mean? Like yes, it's a piece of paper, but also at the same time that shows you like you have done college, like you have achieved college. So now you actually get a bigger job than anybody else in your neighborhood.
Have you had any opportunity to cash in on the NIL?
Oh, 100%. Yes, I have.
What are some of the things that you might have working?
Right now, I had like I got a car dealership going on. Of course, with my girlfriend's uncle, of course, and he has blessed me with a new car, and it was actually pretty nice. And I appreciate him for that. I thank him for that a lot. And I also got some other stuff going on too. And also at the same time, I'm going to Roosters a little bit with Austin in a bit.
Tell us about that.
Hey.
There was some in the past about college players going to bed hungry, and now that shouldn't be the case. It's got to be a nice relief to have
Yeah, it's a nice really to have cash in our pocket, but also at the same time, um, like for people like myself or people like that really don't that came from nothing, like it's a great opportunity uh, to actually have money in our pockets to actually give back to our families. You know, because they can't really do the stuff that they want to do. We can also like help them out a little bit, but not as much as we need to. You know.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that are hesitating to jump in about Ohio State feet first because of the quarterback situation. What do you see that? How you see that going?
Well, the quarterback situation, like whoever's behind me or behind the offensive line, is going to do their job no matter what. You know, like, it can be C.J. Stroud, Jack Miller, Kyle McCord. Like they will do their job no matter what because they are hard workers. They love to compete. Like they'll want to do what's best for the team. You know, and they also want to make themselves proud and our team proud as well.
They have enough to be like in Fields territory or close to it.
Yeah, 100%. I firmly believe that.
Could Josh Fryer slide in next to you?
100%. He has like the interior part is like wide open, of course, but also at the same time, what Coach Day said, like it's like who wants it more. Like if you want to go get it, go get it. It's not just like we gonna pick the best that we think. Whoever wants it, go get it. Then we decide at the end of camp who's like actually earned that spot.
Do you get input on that? Been around long enough? And they're lining up next to you?
I got a little input, but also at the same time, it's always up to them, always up to that person, because we becoming grown men, we make our own decisions, and I always tell the guys like, you the one who makes the decision, not me, not Coach Dud, not Coach Day, you do.
The way Josh played in spring surprised you at all? I don't know that he was a guy that we're talking about a lot in March,
hmm
but we were by the end of camp.
Well, I seen it when he first came in, like in the summer, like when COVID was still around, of course, but like when it was at its highest peak, and he was doing some stuff that's like was tremendous. I was like, wow, like you actually have a chance like to play here. But also at the same time though, like what are you gonna do with it now? I'm not about to say like, oh, you doing good, stay right there. No, keep going. Like push more, like push yourself a lot more. Like like y'all do. Y'all push yourself a lot more attention, like make the best story, just like Josh. Like he should push more to actually be like the starting guard or even better than me or Wyatt or Josh or anybody else that actually came through the program. You know.
Last year we heard a lot about the Clemson game and you guys wanting to kind of make up for that. There hasn't been as much talk about Alabama. Do you guys have some sort of outward motivation? Is there something this year that's kind of pushed you through this off season?
You know, like after that loss, which was bad, of course, for Ohio State, but we do still have that deep in our minds. Yeah, yeah, we don't put it out there as much, but we know like this is where we need to be. Like what they did was like attention to detail. Like we was being we was attention to detail, but not as like finally how they were. And I give them credit. Like they got us. But at the same time, though, I don't think it's going to happen again at all.
You guys have obviously been the top dog in this league for some time now. For some of the younger guys coming in, how do you keep that hunger? Because I think sometimes it can be the expectation, but then maybe you don't work as hard. How do guys that are coming up maintain this level so Ohio State season?
They look at the leaders that we provide. Like first, me, Paris Johnson, um, actually me, Nick. Like all the younger guys look up to us, and when Justin was here, the young quarterbacks looked up to him. So on and so forth. Like Terry McLaurin, like Chris looked up to him, and Chris is now the leader. Chris and Garrett's now the leaders of that room. Like it keeps going on and on. It's like a never-ending cycle.
Is that a good thing for college football to get more teams involved? I mean, you guys are in there a lot anyway. Is that a good thing in your mind for the playoff to expand as well?
To be honest, like I think it's a good thing overall. But also at the same time, though, it's like how many games are the college players going to actually play? You know, because after like 12 games, like people's bodies like literally be like hurting and be like, all right, like can we like get like a little break? Then we get in, But I think it'll be good no matter what.
Is that something that could be solved with either add another bye week in the middle of this, start a week earlier and have a bye week in the regular season, or space things out forward so it's till the end of January? How would you solve that problem?
I don't know. It was just brought up today. I'm just, man, I don't care for it. I'm just ready to play football.
Probably just need part of the television deal, right?
Probably.
Thayer, last year, heading into the season last year was so focused on Clemson,
hmm
getting over that hump. You guys did that. Is the focus turned? Is it now Alabama in focus, or is it?
It's more win the whole thing instead of Alabama or just one team because we know we can get there. We know we have the potential to actually do that. All it is now is on us. It's actually like, all right, we need to do this. We need to pay attention to detail, like I said before. Like it's all about the details, That's all it is.
Yeah, like put the big score up in the weight room.
We still have that score. It's just we just don't post it everywhere.
How close do you think you are to the gap between where you are now and where you want to be?
Personally, I think we are far from it, but from our whole team's perspective, like we don't think like we that far from it, but we push ourselves so far. It's like all right, like we need to be better than Bama. We need to be better than everybody else that pays attention to like the actual details of the stuff.
Do you think that last year's the end result felt different because of everything else you guys had to go through to get there? Like the Clemson game in 2019, you were there.
hmm
You knew you were the better team that day, but you lost.
Yeah.
With everything that happened last year, the way that the season ended, I don't think people felt as much hurt about it as far as like the national landscape and the way fans viewed it. Do you guys chalk that up as a sort of an anomaly? Like, all this crap happened and we just had to play the game.
Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry. I was burping. Nah, it's just keep going. Just do our thing. Pay attention to detail, and if we do the little things right, we'll win the game, and play hard as well, like we always do.
Thayer, if you could sign an image likeness deal with any brand of your choosing, which one would it be?
Anybody, It don't matter. Anybody will.
Thayer, do you have any idea who could get you this year? And does it matter? I mean, how much confidence do you have in the
I feel very confident of whoever's going to be right next to me or who's at left guard, center, right guard, or right tackle. Well, it don't matter. It doesn't matter, like, because me as a leader and Nick as a leader as well, we going to make sure, like, all right, you going to be starting or you going to be playing if he goes down. Like, make sure you know your stuff before you go on that field.
I mean, it sounds like you've got a lot of interchangeable pieces.
Mhm.
Thayer can play guard, center. Matt can play guard, play center. Any defense. There's spot can play right guard. Do you feel like it might be questioned for not doing some of this?
Mm-mm. If they can play it, they can play it. If I see it on film, and Coach Stud sees it on film, and we all feel confident of him being in that position, we'll put him in that position. But till then, they have that chance to actually like show people themselves of what they can do.
Have you gotten a quarterback coach here yet?
Huh?
Have you gotten a quarterback coach?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, Thayer, what's your relationship like with Paris Johnson? I mean, going back to that last question about being Cincinnati, and just what's your relationship with him like coaching from that standpoint?
Well, to be honest, I didn't know him before he was like the big name guy. Uh, right now, my relationship with him is actually pretty good. Like he's like the little brother. Like he's like my little brother. We always joke around, and he said I always call him grandson. He always called me nephew because we have like a weird bond. It's always a weird bond between me and him. But also at the same time, it's like we push each other so much. I push my brothers a lot. Like, and when Wyatt Davis was here and Josh Myers was here, they pushed me to actually become stronger and to like mentally prepare myself for like the next level. You know,
Where's Paris athletically compared to the others who play your guys' position?
he's up there. He might not. He's big, strong now, and he's gonna be somebody to be watch out for.
Thayer,
100%.
do you think the quarterback battle will, take some time here, or
It'll take some time. You know, everything's not set in stone until the day of the game. So y'all can ask me all these questions about the quarterback, but I can't really tell y'all, or I really don't know.
right?
You know?
But they all deserve a shot.
Oh yeah,
Nobody's head and shoulders.
nah, not at all. Everybody's doing the same thing as everybody else does. You know?
Does it matter how early you find out, though? I mean, as far as like getting that guy to roll first team reps, getting that guy established with the first string offense, like, does that really matter?
It's important, but most of the same times, like they need to do what they need to do. Just to actually take that spot. Be the guy to actually like take that spot and actually run with it. Not just be the guy, just get there and be satisfied with it. Nobody wants to be satisfied with where they at. I'm not satisfied where I'm at. Everybody got me going first rounds. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I don't care. Like, that's fine until the field, like until people see the game. You know what I mean? Like, we can all say like, oh, he's gonna be this, oh, he's gonna be that. Who can he show that on the field? You know?
Thayer, sorry. Thayer, obviously the pandemic's caused a lot of challenges. One of those last year was having limited capacity fans. This year, fans are coming back. How big of a boost is that going to be for you guys?
Oh my! I cannot wait till these guys come back to the stadium because it was so like quiet. It's so weird just to have just to play a game in the stadium without nobody there. It felt like another practice, but it was just so weird. But I just can't wait to have them back.
How much do you think it'll raise? How much do you think it'll improve the play? Just having the adrenaline from having fans on.
It will improve the play a lot. But also at the same time, the other team will also feel off it too. We will feel off of it. Like it goes hand in hand. You know.
It's probably not a lot of. It's not probably felt like a chore. It's like joy, right? Because you have people
Yeah, it for sure did.
Thanks, artists. I remember James Franklin at Penn State talking about how he missed getting the middle finger on the bus and getting thrown at the bus.
Yeah.
You also got to kind of miss that part until like Mr. Road fans.
Oh,
Like you guys.
100%. Like, especially when we go to Minnesota, I'm like literally expecting people just like throw stuff at us. I'm like, not throw stuff at us like personally, but throw stuff at the bus. Like, don't throw stuff at us personally because that kind of be like, oh, like he he bold for that. So
Do you worry about like you watch the pro sports and some of the fan behavior that you've seen like in NBA? Do you worry about some of that stuff maybe carrying over?
uh, not really. It's just I be in the zone so much. It's like, all right, I have a game to play. I really don't have nothing to actually look forward to. But if they do throw stuff at me, I'm like, all right. Who look up? I'm like, all right, I got you. Move on. Always critique other people, critique ourselves. You know, as leaders of as offensive line unit, like we can't just be like, oh, like I'm cool. It doesn't work like that. Like if you don't critique yourself and be hard on yourself too, and help out others as well, like you can't push for greatness. A lot. It helps a lot. Me and him was just talking about it last night. Like yeah, we was a duo, but also at the same time, like we couldn't do what we do without the players who came before us, and helping out our young guys as well, and helping out ourselves. You know. Right now, we haven't gone to practice yet, so things can change. You know.
Thayer, do you ever reflect on how far you've come? I mean, like, when you moved to Massillon, there were a lot of questions about could you make it at Ohio State academically, things like that. And now you're talking about people talking about you being a first round guy next year, a chance to go to the too. Reflect on kind of where you've gone from where you were.
100%. Most of everybody knows that I did not come from the greatest part. I didn't come from um, I don't have like the mental, like the learn. I have a learning disability, and that's why I wasn't like the high recruited player because I was having learning disability, and now everybody's like praising me now. I'm like, that's fine, but where was this like before? Like, you know, like it's all fine and dandy right now, but y'all wasn't there when I was like back then, just struggling just to have my test scores right, or struggling just to have my mental state right, because I was still a kid, just like learning everything, you know. And that's where like people mess up as like yeah, you congratulate me right now, but where was you like back then? You know what I mean? It's like nobody. I'm not calling out nobody, of course, but I'm just saying like overall, you know.
Hey, Thayer, we spent a lot of time talking to Michigan players yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and all of them said that they're putting a lot more emphasis on the rivalry this year. Given how lopsided it's been for so long, how surprised are you that it's taken this long for them to put more emphasis on it?
To be honest, I'm not really surprised. You know, everybody knows it's the greatest rivalry of all sports. Um, I'm happy they doing it, but at the same time, I don't feel like they have like shied away from it. You know, it's always been there. Like, um, I read something like earlier the year, like they was talking about like the defense. I'm like, I like it. Like, I like that. I love like the talk. I love everything. Like, but also at the same time, though, it's like we happy that we get to play this rivalry, of course. But at the same time, it's our game to play, not nobody else's.
Talk about focusing on life after football, and you were kind of, well, yeah, hoping to become a future athletic director, and you were like doing things at like local high schools, and wondering how that process works. Can you enlighten us on how that process is going for you?
Right now, it's been going pretty well. I'm starting to build my brand up a little bit more. Just trying to reach out to like little kids to make sure like they are all right, like mentally, not just physically, just mentally. Because Coach Day harps on that with us a lot. It's like all the mental stuff. Like physically, you can have all the attributes in the world, but also at the same time, if you don't have the mental part, you're not going to really succeed that well. It's like for me, for instance, it's all mental. Like with my learning disability, like in high school, I can actually like tell kids about what I went through, Yeah, it might be repetitive, but also at the same time, you gotta understand where I'm coming from of why I'm getting on you so much about you gotta do this right, you gotta do that right. It's like telling y'all kids the same thing. Like, all right, make sure you do this right. Yeah, they could be like, yeah, all right, but at the same time, like if they have somebody else right there to talk to about it, they'll be like, oh, now I understand where you're coming from. You know.
You guys play earlier in your careers. I thought you might have a good perspective on what carried another win through last season. Just how would you assess how
Especially that game when he got, you know, every holding call during that one series. Everybody was bashing him. Like, oh, he's this, he's that. I was like, well, let me help him out because I went through that. Because with me with the Wisconsin game when we first played on 2019, I believe, right? Yeah, 2019, I was getting bashed because I gave up a sack. I'm like, dang, like this not good. Let me calm down. Let me get off Twitter real quick. Just calm myself down so I won't get overwhelmed as much. Or even though the Michigan State game as well, 2018, I was reading comments like left and right. I'm like, this guy sucks. This guy's this. Why is he even playing? I'm like, all right, that's how y'all feel. Later on down the road, I see the same tweets from the same person, like, oh, he's the greatest player ever. I'm like, you just the one that was talking stuff about me. Like, what's going on? Like, are you bipolar? Like what's going on right now? But same time, I understand like the fans are like very into it as well, so I give them that too.
So what did you tell Harry?
Don't get on Twitter. Do not get on your social media at all. Just let it ride. Critique yourself a little bit harder. See what you need to do better. Hand placement, your feet, certain stuff, And he's been doing that, and even though he had his little injury, of course, he's still been working on that. He's been after every workout, he's been literally about a difference every day. Just try to make sure, all right, I'm not gonna do the same mistake that I did against Rutgers, or same mistake against Northwestern, or any other team. Just to make sure he's ahead of the learning curve.
What did people maybe not give him credit for doing right?
Here's a
What did people not give him credit for doing right? They were pointing out the mistakes. What were they missing?
how hard he's working and how hard, people don't understand how hard offensive lineman is, how offensive lineman actually is. Everybody wants us to be the perfect player. Nobody's really perfect. We all ain't perfect people. We all not. Everybody in this room is not. You can't just critique one person because their name is out there. You got to critique your own self as well. You know?
Thayer, you mentioned that growth process that takes place. It's very rare to be a fourth-year starting left tackle in college football. How special is that to have that kind of opportunity?
It's very special, but at the same time, I got to still do what I need to do. It's a great accomplishment. Just like Billy Price, he actually started for 4 years, played in the national championship game, won the national championship game. That's an accomplishment right there. And I'm just golfing him and just talking to him a little bit. He's been doing great,
You mentioned building your brand. How much do you think name images like this can help you all in college?
It can help a lot. But I know for sure, most people, all people is trying to do it for money, as well. But at the same time, I'm trying to make sure life after football for the kids is all right, football is only for so long, you know. What are you gonna do after that? How's your personal life? How's your family doing? Are you gonna learn? Are you learning what not to do? Just keep moving on from that.
Curious, what's your perspective on the college football playoff looking to expand to 12 teams? What do you think that will be like for players potentially having to watch play?
Just if we have lesser games in the regular season, it will be good. But I haven't really put in that much thought into it. It just popped up today. I was like, oh, okay, we doing this now, or or what, But everything would just be good. I think everybody should get a chance, but also at the same time, you actually need to earn your chance to actually get to the college playoffs, though.
You mentioned less games in the regular season. Like, how hard do you think it would be on the players if they had to play 16 to 17 games a year?
Oh, so much harder. Like, the NFL, like you get to practice like once a week during pads. With us, like we practice like twice a week in pads, and that's wear and tear on our bodies as well. Because we want to play, but also at the same time, like we need to rest too, just to make sure like we're gonna be ready for the end of the season and don't you actually don't get injured. You know,
There, you have to open up the Thursday night game in Minnesota. What do you expect out of that?
the atmosphere is gonna be great. I can't wait for that one. They have a good defense. They have a good offense as well. Um, I just can't wait to actually like play them in their own stadium and it's just play them, you know, because especially in front of fans, like it's so good. It's so great to actually have them there.
Yeah, added importance to the Big Ten game.
Hmm.
They added importance to the game because it's Big Ten.
Yeah,
Game.
100%.
You mentioned you haven't had two practices yet. How important is this summer session right here, getting ready for two practices before the season starts?
The summer session for us is basically like building our team. You know, during the winter, it's all about being stronger. You know, being more conditioned for football for spring game and spring practice. You know, during the summer is more of building our team, but also being stronger as well and faster, just to make sure like we're gonna do everything right. You know, and I personally think like for our team, like we gonna be there, but right now I don't think we're there yet, and we always got stuff to improve on too, no matter what it is. And a very important role, like he made he made everybody stronger. He made everybody more mentally tough. You know, but at the same time though, like he he's an important piece to it. But at the same time, like our leadership, like Zach, Jeremy, Haskell, Marcus, and Seven, like our leadership means a lot more to the players than the coaches, of course, because coaches always talk. But when the players start talking, like that means like, oh, we need to actually do it. We actually need to do it right. You know. hmm You know, we always tell players like our players like just take one game at a time. You know, with me with the going against the Oregon's DN, of course, like yes, it's great. I'm going against him. I can make a name for myself a little bit more. But also at the same time though, you gotta treat everybody with respect. You know, like I gotta treat Minnesota's DNs with respect. Like treat them like they are the number one defensive end in the country. I gotta treat Oregon's like DN as the number one DN in the country, of course, and so on and so forth. Like anybody, me and Nick go against, we always gonna treat them with respect, always.
One of the things that's brought up outside is how naming this likeness impacts the locker room.
hmm
Forgive me if you've already been asked this question, but I'm wondering inside how much is a regular discussion inside the locker room and how much do you think will impact team dynamics?
Well, I really don't think it's gonna be that much, like like a separation. But also at the same time, like people gonna get like a little bit butthurt because they not making as much money as they should. But also at the same time, if you don't perform on the field or if you don't perform in the academic side, like you're not about to get anything. That's that's facts.
Is there a pretty, you think there's a pretty good understanding of that between
Everybody understands that, and uh, yeah, I have really nothing much to say about that one. Yeah.
Is that how you guys approach that then? Is it just like the NFL guys make different amount of money? Depending on how good you are, how well you play, is that kind of how you guys are thinking about that?
Um, well, same time it's new. Like we all try and get used to it. Of course, it's like, dang, like we actually like having this opportunity to actually like get a new car, actually get money for our name. Like like it's very new to us. But I know down the road it's gonna be a little bit more competitive. But also at the same time, Like it also depends on the leaders as well. Like, all right, the NIL stuff is off to the side. Focus on the team now. You know, you always got to focus on the team first before yourself.
You mentioned the importance of player leadership. What have you done as one of those player leaders to really step up to that plate?
Be a little bit more vocal, because everybody knows that I'm not like the talkative person. But again, I'm not the raw type person. Just get everybody hyped up. I'm more just like, all right, we all need to do this like as a team. Like I'm not just going to single everybody out. We all going to do this as a team. We all need to pick each other up. If the defense is on the field and they get stopped, let's get up and get rowdy for everybody else. You know, and it goes on and on like for all three phases, even special teams. You know, if our kicker makes a field goal, we happy. Defense gets stopped, we happy. Offense get a first down or a touchdown, a big play, we happy. Like we always like encourage each other on, and also critique ourselves as well.
Who are some of the younger guys that you've seen step up on the offensive line this offseason?
Josh Fryer, Paris Johnson, um, Matt Jones, not a freshman of course, but he's stepped up as well. Donovan Jackson, in his class, has came in and actually like performed well in the weight room. Now you got to transfer that to on the field because the weight room is different than the field. You know.
How much does it make you better knowing that you're going to be going up against Zach Harrison and Tyree Smith and Tyler Friday and Javante Jean-Baptiste and all those other defensive ends in practice?
Like with Zach Harrison, like he's a freak of nature. So is Tyreek. You know, like I go against them every day. And I also went against Chase Young, Nick Bosa. I went with them. I went against Chase and Nick for 2 years. Actually, no, Chase for 3 years, of course, but Nick for 2. And they made me better to see what I need to work on as well. You know, and going against Zach and with his speed, his athleticism as well, and Tyreek as well, like going against them is going to be like make my job a lot more easier because their game is going to be a lot more easier as well.
Thayer, you play for a program that prides itself on producing first-round picks at a lot of different positions. One to two first-round tackles since Orlando Thornecker. Do you guys talk about that much? Do you think that maybe you, Nick, and Harrison a couple of years might be able to change that?
Yeah, we talked about it, but also at the same time, it's not our agenda. Like it's on our scratch that. I'm sorry. Like it's on our agenda, but we don't focus on that as much. It's like if we play the game of football, we gonna be a first rounder or whatever round we go in. You know, it's all about our play.
When recruits come to visit campus and talk to you guys, I imagine that means more than the NFL develops. Do you talk with tackles much about the track record, I guess, or lack thereof, of producing first-round tackles?
Mm-mm. Not at all, because if we start talking about that, it's more like a business. Like with them, like it's a business to business type relationship with a player, player to player itself. Like, all right, if you're gonna come here, I'm gonna treat you like my brother. We're gonna talk about some stuff that you don't talk about with your parents. You know, just talk about like life stuff. Like we don't talk about like first rounders because we all like first football players. We always talk about football. We always talk about football this, football that. But at the same time, when we start talking about like other stuff, like food, for instance, school, something like that, life lessons, like that builds more trust and builds your confidence up a lot more than just talking about first rounders. You know.
They're wondering if you at all think of yourself sort of as kind of the central development guy when you think about how a player can develop in this program. So from where you came from when you came in to now you're going to be in 4 years starting right after 50-something starts on the football.
Yeah. It like that. Hey, 50 something. I don't know, but
Or I guess not quite 50.
yeah, not
You got a real season left.
yeah. Man, I really ain't gotten that much thought. That was a good question right there. Can I come back to that one? Appreciate that.
Chairman of the Sports Philanthropy Network. When you go pro, what charities or foundations would you like to support? What causes are dear to your heart?
Geez, I haven't learned about that either. Really, it's just helping out any way I can. It's not just one specific like charity. It's like any charity I reach out to or any charity that reach outs to me, like I'll help out. But it has to be for a great cause, not just like St. Jude's Foundation is very good. Like, but everybody reaches out to them. I just want to reach out to somebody that's like starting that foundation and should like give them more money so they can help them start up their little foundation as well. You know. To be honest, I wasn't mad, but I was like, dang, like you really about to retire?
Like you came in to play for, Lettermen Row, right?
Yes.
What was that initial response when they said, "Hey, I'm leaving. This guy's taking over"? You guys have obviously you worked with Coach Day at that
hmm
for a while, but what was the real like reaction?
Everybody was just like, wow, like he's really retiring. But also at the same time, like we had Coach Day at hand. Like Coach Day is a great coach. He loves the players. Like he literally loves everybody. It doesn't really matter if you like walk on or the star player of the team. You know, like I was kind of mad, but at the same time, it's like, oh well, now been playing for him for 2 years now, so it's good.
There, Coach Day talked about how when he recruits guys, he's trying to be as transparent as he can, right? And I realize you were recruited by him, but he talked about if guys come to Ohio State for the right reasons, they stay for graduation. When their eyes are on more than just trying to get on the field and take snaps. You've certainly got an NFL future. How much do you enjoy the education part of your journey as a student athlete?
Well, if I be completely honest, I really don't like it as much. But at the same time, it's part of the process. You gotta get your degree to actually like do something with your life. Like yeah, like I have the Ohio State football tag. That I play for Ohio State football. Most of the time, if you have that tag of I graduated from Ohio State. I was also a part of like the Ohio State's team, like football team. That's a great accomplishment as well.
So, what's the hardest part about being a student?
Having time to actually like study. Like I'd be so tired during times like for practice. I'm like, man, I really don't want to study. Let me just go to bed so I can rest up for tomorrow before I get yelled at for not doing the right assignment. Yeah, that's like the biggest thing for me.
There, you've been here since 2017, and you played Michigan at home once. Is that annoying at all?
Twice.
2018 and 2020.
Dang. Hold up. Hold up. No, because 2017 we played there. I got played one time. The one play that JT scored. The next year we played at home. You know, we put a whole bunch of numbers, of course. And the next year we played there. Did the same thing there. Last year we didn't play them at all because of COVID.
So you have one home game against Michigan a year, correct?
Yep.
Is that annoying at all?
It's annoying, but you know what? We play them anywhere. I always play them anywhere.
Thayer, when you hear Chicago on Michigan say that they're taking, they're emphasizing rivalry games,
All right, that's good.
do you think they don't take? I mean, do you think they don't take it seriously?
I for sure thought they took it seriously, but for them to actually like say that, I'm like, all right, we ready no matter what. Like it's one of the greatest rivalries ever, you know.
So I'm gonna change gears back to football and ask you a little bit about food.
Go ahead about that.
You're offensive linemen, you guys have a reputation of being big eaters. I gotta ask, do you watch the hot dog food?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I almost throw up every time I see that.
This year, Joey ate 76 hot dogs.
Mm.
Broke his own record. He actually lives here in Indy, so in the spirit of Joey Chestnut, is there a food that you could put down at that level? Maybe not 76 of, but something. No.
I love food.
Yeah.
Well, at the same time, I can't eat like that. I can't eat like that. I gotta take my time. I gotta savor my food. You know, if you don't savor your food, it's not enjoyable. You got
You've never just looked up and all of a sudden realized you finished like 40 chicken wings?
I always take my time, dip them in ranch. Get if I go anywhere and they had it like garlic parmesan, dip them in ranch, eat it. Ah, the best.
Well, is there a teammate that could like push the limit? You have a guy on the line that does eat that quickly or could eat that much or something?
It's there. It's there. I feel like Josh Fryer will.
Okay. Any specific food he would take down?
Just anything. Probably like wings.
Wings.
Yeah. All right then.
And then, one last question: if you're coached to eat a food like that, obviously not that many, but if there was one food that he would take down, what do you think that you've seen him eat a lot of, or that he?
Oh, you talking about Coach Day?
Yeah.
Well, I see him going vegan a lot, so probably a salad.
He can eat like 7 to 6 pounds of salad.
Probably. I don't know about anything else, but he's been eating healthy a little bit more. He's been eating healthy a little bit more, so it's probably a salad for him.
Thank you.
No problem. Huh? And he can go and bash me all he wants to. Well, Coach Stud, I could tell you from personally knowing him for how long I know him, ever since he was at Maryland. He will stick by you no matter what. Like, he stuck by me since he was at Maryland until he got to Ohio State. He never let off the gas. Like, he was always telling me stories about wow, like you have really changed a lot. Like, he was like on the job, like his job was on the line for me. I was like, wow, like you actually put your job on the line for me just because you knew something was there. It was like you know, a 50-50 chance that I might not make it. And you put your job out on the line for me. Did we have some problems down the road? Of course. Like, we always have problems. But also at the same time, though, it's like he's kind of like the father figure I never had. You know? Like, I had father figures there, of course. Like, I had Nate Moore, of course. I had other people as well, but he has pushed through so much for me just to get here. Like, I can never give him like more things than I can right now. You know? I don't think he gets enough credit, but he likes it that way because he's like, all right, I don't get enough credit. That's completely fine. I can push more. I can push myself a lot harder just to make sure like my players are going to do the right thing. You know? Well, I think Donovan Jackson is different in that class. Paris Johnson was the different one in his class as well. With Donovan, uh, he's gonna be something as well. Like him, like Paris was the first one. Now Donovan's the next one up. You know, it's kind of like that continuing cycle, but we can't always have one. We gotta also have like others as well. Oh, he looks like Nick Petit. Yeah. So, but to be fair, he's a quiet. He loves to work. He loves to actually compete. I haven't seen the competing side yet, of course, but I can't wait to actually see it because he's been like working super hard in the weight room too, and I'm proud of him just come in for that too. You know. Yes. The reason that's what we strive for, and the reason why we strive for that a lot more because if we win that award, like we did it as a unit. Like we didn't do it just for ourselves. Like for me, for instance, if I potentially win an Outland, you know, that'd be great. But at the same time, it doesn't, it won't mean as much to me as winning a Joe Moore because it's a Joe Moore you got to win as a whole offensive line unit, not just one person. The first year, yes, 100%. But that's in the past. We can't dwell on that as much, but we got to focus on the future now.
Zach was talking about the defense's tiredness. It sucks. How you put it. How much have you heard them talking about that?
Man, what? I don't know about that. Well, I'm kind of tired of it as well, and I kind of agree with him as well. But also at the same time, we know what we need to do. Like if the defense have a good day, that means offense we ain't do so. If the offense had a great day, that means defense y'all need to step up our game. But if we have like that one day, if everybody's going at each other back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like I don't think nobody in the country can stop us. But at the same time, it has to be more of those days though of going back and forth, not just offense one day, defense the other day, offense one day, defense the other day. It can't be like that. It gotta be back and forth each day. Um, well, as a freshman, I believe Jack's gonna be good. I haven't went against JT yet because he just came in. Um, Javante will be good. He's he he's kind of like a quiet soul about his pass rushers course. Um, he has. He's been taking care of his body so much better, and he's matured a lot. Everybody's matured a lot. We still joke around sometimes about who can dump who, but at the same time we do it for the fun. We do it for our brotherhood.
I think some fans, and writers too, have seen, high profile tackle moves the last couple of years. Ohio State things.
Mm-hmm.
Interested in Ohio State visiting Ohio State, seemingly Ohio State being in a good spot with them if they go somewhere else. And then I think you look at other positions, Ohio State players who's top 10, top 20 in the national in terms of positions. For some reason, tackle just hasn't happened in the last few years. So I don't know. Do you make anything of that, or is that too early? Or just what do you think of the fact that people are concerned about that tackle position?
Well, I think it's because like some people might be scared of competition. I don't think people might say like they might be scared of competition. That's not the case at all because offensive line you always competing for your spot no matter where you go. As a tackle, like as a recruiting for tackle, of course, like I don't like I personally don't know what's going on in their mind about what's in their decision, of course, but. If they come here, they come here. If they don't, they don't. We always put somebody in as tackle that should be a first rounder or a drafted player. You know.
Thayer, haven't you they've talked this offseason about maybe expanding college ball to 12 teams? You played this last year, you played 1 or 2 games. This fall, playing maybe 3 games, maybe 4 games. What do you think about that proposal or idea? Would it be hard to do as a player, like the workload, or would it be fair?
I personally haven't thought that much about it until like 2 hours ago. So basically, yeah, but I do think like if they gonna do like the 12 game or 18, like not 12 game, but 12 team or 18 like bracket, we should have a little bit like less time off, like a little bit more time off because that's gonna be a long season, Or they're gonna do a 12 team bracket, have less regular season games to add up to 15 games.
You mentioned JT on the defensive line. What was it like seeing him play for a freshman all the way into the
Well, I was actually talking to him about that like later on, like earlier this week, because I was just going over there just to hang out sometimes, and he was like, to be honest, I just need to see everybody just so I get a better feel of where I want to go to actually, and where I feel comfortable at, you know?
What have been your sort of impressions of Lettermen Row? You obviously just got here, but I've seen him a little bit. Maybe you have an idea of better than us of what he's going to be able to do right away. Freshman.
I don't know yet. To be honest, I don't know. I'm actually, I can't wait to actually see what he does, you know? But same time, like I said before, it's always up to him. It's always up to somebody else to actually do their job right, you know? And actually be athletic too. Like what I mean, like trying to say yeah, he has like great like wide receivers, and to be honest, I, whoever's back there. You know, if they feel comfortable, they feel comfortable. You know, and I also said before, um, they will they'll be ready for no matter what. Like whoever's back there, CJ, Kyle, or Jack, they'll be ready. As offensive line, we all know like we don't get that much attention. We don't get that much media attention at all. Hey, it's true though. We don't. Uh, like for his games, like everybody see like the wide receivers, the quarterbacks, they see the running backs. Nobody really talks about the offensive line about what they do for real, because it's the boring part of the of the team. I'm like, all right, that's fine. If we took that out, what are they gonna do now? You know. Star players, not as much, but people who don't have their name out, yes. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, he's been working on that deal for quite some time though. So before like July 1st, he's been working on that. I feel like it's gonna be elite level. Like it's gonna be elite. I really do think it's gonna be very elite. For as just like the quarterback situation with Jack, CJ, or Kyle, they gonna do their part as offensive line leader. We gonna do our parts to make sure that everybody else like tight ends, our receivers, they gonna do their part as well. So, and we all know like who's there. Like people just need to do it. Just that, just actually like practicing after our workouts, get their arm right, and actually get their actually right as well. And going through plays like, all right, if I go here, if I throw the deep ball when the safety's coming down, and whoever is going over top, it's gonna be a touchdown. Or if everybody's covered, I can throw it to the check down. They always do all that. Hmm.
How much different is that? When you have Justin, who is a captain and a quarterback. Is that any different? Did you have to kind of take a little bit more?
Not at all, because they all look to me like, all right, like help me out here. Like, what am I doing wrong? I might just calm down, take a deep breath, go to the side, fight out a little bit, to come back and regroup and do your thing. If you don't do your thing, we can't do our thing. If we can't do our thing, the whole team doesn't do our thing.
Is there a difference though in having one of your captains be the quarterback?
It's just the culture. Like, we don't care like who's the captain, but whoever we pick as a captain, we pick them for a reason. You know, it doesn't have to be quarterback. It can be if we have two offensive linemen like we did last year, like White and Josh. We have a defensive player. We had, of course, we had Justin, of course, but um, we can have, a DB, a kicker, anybody, whoever feels like whoever the team feels like is the leader, and they're gonna be the captain of the team.
As far as like those guys would like yell.
That man over there, Zach Harrison will. He's the raw type person though. I love it. That's him. That's always been him. You know, we also got people on the defensive side too. You know, I could potentially be that, but I'm not that. I'm more mellow. It'll be very forced. Yeah. On whose side? It better be my side. Man, we always joke about that too, and it's a fun competition as well. Like when we doing practice, it gets intense. But when we get on one-on-one battles, like going against each other, it's very very intense. Because during team, like you have to do your job, but also at the same time, if you see an opening, you have to take it. You know. Yeah, it is very interesting, but same time, like everybody goes down different paths in their life, and especially during their college career. You know, a lot. I still remember when he had his little fade cut when he came in as a freshman, but now he's got longer hair now, and he has grown and matured a lot too, and becoming a leader that he is right now. That's why he's here. He's a leader. hmm That shows a lot because nobody in his grade will actually do it, you know. But we could have other players, but I feel like that Coach Dave picked him for a reason because he's more like a vocal leader. He leads by example, but he also does the stuff right. I feel like he's gonna be like one of the top DNs in the country. I believe by the end of the season, because everybody sleeps on our DNs. Of course, everybody reads that. Like everybody sees like people from Pac-12, SEC. You really don't see anybody from the Big Ten from like edge rushers except for Chase and certain players, of course. But him and Tyreek's the yeah, they are for real. They can't wait to actually like show people wrong. Basically just watch a little bit more film. Knowing it's going to be a big game, of course. Knowing they're going to be some good players. But at the same time, it doesn't change like my study for them. Like I study them like how I study anybody else. Might be a little bit more. I critique them a little bit more. How can I perfect my play style as well? But at the same time, it's like all right, like it's another player. Respect him no matter what he does. You always respect him.
Does it help? Those guys are really good players. Like they're former edge rushers.
hmm
Also around Chase Young. So I don't know. Does it land differently for him because he's so good?
It kind of lands differently, but same time, treat the edge rushers like how I treat Joe, not Joey, but Nick and Chase, always, or even Zach and Tyreek.